Navratri Series, Part 1, The Origin. Hello, everyone. This is the first part of our Navratri series. Today, we're going to explore, where did Navratri originate? Why do we celebrate it? So let's begin. But before we start, hit the subscribe button to get notified every time we upload a new video. Now let's get started. Scene 1. Mahishasura's Penance. Long ago, there lived a demon king named Mahishasura. Now this wasn't just any ordinary demon king. He was strong, powerful, and fearless. But most importantly, he was deeply devoted. For years, he performed severe penance, meditating deep in the mountains, seeking an audience with the gods. His dedication was so intense, his austerity so profound, that even the gods trembled in their celestial abyss. They were astounded by his unwavering commitment and relentless pursuit of the divine. As the eons passed, they wondered what boon could possibly satisfy him. They knew that whatever he asked for had to be extraordinary, something that would test their divine powers and challenge their cosmic order. And then finally, one day, his prayers were answered. Lord Brahma himself appeared before him, surprised by his penance and humbled by his devotion. Brahma, the creator, the architect of the universe, he extended his hand and uttered words that would echo through eternity. "Ask your boon," Brahma said, "for your penance has touched the very heavens. Ask, and it shall be granted." When Brahma, the Lord of creation, offered him a wish, Mahishasura didn't hesitate. He didn't ask for immortality or power over the realms of men. His ambition was far grander, his desires far more audacious. He wanted to become invincible, undefeatable, a tyrant that even the gods could not subdue. "I want to be unconquerable," he declared. "No man, no god shall ever kill me. That is my wish." Now, as soon as these words left his lips, a ripple of shock echoed across the cosmos. Even Brahma, the all-knowing, the omniscient, was taken aback. He sensed the implications, the potential chaos that such a boon could unleash. To grant or to refuse was a decision that could alter the very fabric of existence. After much contemplation and debate among the other gods, Brahma finally agreed. However, he tried to dissuade Mahishasura, warning him of the consequences, urging him to reconsider. But the demon king stood firm. He wanted that boon, come what may, and so the wish was granted. Mahishasura became invincible. No weapon, no spell, no force could harm him. He was a fortress of flesh and bone, an impenetrable bulwark against any who dared to challenge him. Emboldened by his newfound invincibility, Mahishasura laughed. It was a sound that shook the mountains, that rattled the celestial palaces, that sent shivers down the spines of the gods. His eyes, once burning with pious fervor, now glittered with triumphant arrogance. "Who can stop me now?" he boomed, his voice echoing with the might of 1,000 thunders. "I am Mahishasura, and none can conquer me." And with that, he plunged into the world of men, plunging the universe into darkness. So now the question is, who can defeat the invincible? What can stop the unstoppable? As the gods pondered, Mahishasura continued his rampage. With his army of demons, he seized the heavens. The celestial abyss turned into battlegrounds. The once harmonious realms became arenas of strife. Angels fell, their radiant forms extinguished like flickering flames. The very balance of the cosmos seemed to teeter on the brink of collapse. The gods, their powers seemingly ineffective against the demon king's impervious hide, were forced to retreat. They fled to the farthest corners of the universe, desperately seeking a way out of this crisis. For if Mahishasura remained unconquered, he would plunge the universe into eternal darkness. But how could they defeat the invincible? How could they stop the one who was impervious to their godly powers? Their only hope lay in unity, in joining their strengths, in combining their powers in ways they had never done before. And thus, as the shadows of despair lengthened, a desperate plan was hatched. Across the vast expanse of the universe, the gods assembled, their faces etched with worry, their hearts heavy with the burden of responsibility. They had to act, and they had to act fast. For every moment, Mahishasura remained unchecked. The darkness spread further, threatening to consume everything in its path. Among them were the most powerful deities, their presences radiating immense power and authority. There was Vishnu, the preserver, whose every step maintained cosmic order. There was Shiva, the destroyer, whose very essence was the transformation and renewal of existence. And then there was Devi, the primordial energy, the source of creation, her power boundless, her potential unlimited. The gods discussed, debated, and strategized. They had to devise a plan that was audacious, that was innovative, that could counter the demon king's invincibility. After much deliberation, they decided to create a new deity, a champion who embodied their collective power, a warrior who personified their united strength. They would call her Durga, the invincible, the one who could stand against Mahishasura and turn the tide of battle. But creating such a deity required immense power, a concentration of energy, on a scale that had never been seen before. And so the gods prepared. They gathered their celestial energies, focused their divine powers, and with a mighty surge of cosmic energy, they began the ritual of creation. As the ritual reached its crescendo, the gods poured all their powers into the nascent being. The energy surged, the light intensified, and from the heart of it all, a figure emerged, born of divine power, fueled by the collective strength of the gods. She was Durga, and she was their last hope. When she appeared, the gods watched in awe and anticipation. Her eyes blazed with celestial fire, her gaze resolute and determined. 10 arms sprung from her sides, each one holding a divine weapon, each one signifying a facet of her awesome power. In her hands were the weapons of the gods, symbols of their combined might. There was the trident, the sword, the shield, the bow and arrow, the discus and the club. Each weapon was infused with godly powers, each one ready to be wielded in the battle against darkness. But Durga was not just a warrior. She was also wisdom, courage, compassion, and strength personified. Her presence radiated tranquility, her demeanor exuded confidence, and her purpose was clear. And then they turned their attention to her mount, the vehicle that would carry her into battle. From the depths of the earth, the gods summoned a lion, not just any lion, but the king of the jungle, the epitome of courage and ferocity. The lion roared, a sound that shook the very foundations of the cosmos, and bowed before Durga, acknowledging her as his queen. Together, they were a formidable sight to behold, a warrior goddess on her fearsome lion throne, ready to face the darkness that threatened to engulf the universe. And with that, the gods knew their champion was ready. It was time to face Mahishasura, to confront the demon king and his army of demons. The universe held its breath. The fate of existence hung in the balance, and as Durga mounted her lion, the celestial trumpets sounded, signaling the dawn of a new battle, a battle that would determine the fate of the cosmos. The gods cheered, their voices echoing with hope and anticipation. They had placed their trust in Durga, and now they watched as she rode her lion into the fray. The war had begun, and thus ends the first part of our Navratri story. We hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button and share it with your friends. Your support means the world to us. Before we go, we have a question for you. What is your favorite part of the story? Let us know in the comments below. Also, Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss out on any of our stories. We'll be back tomorrow with part 2 of Navratri. Until then, take care and happy Navratri.